Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. If it's your first time, welcome. My name is Makeda, and on this channel I just talk about my journey with discovering and loving and exposing as much good things as I can about Kigali, Rwanda, my hometown. We also dabbled in a few other things, but today I'm going to be talking about my collaboration with a fellow Kigali creative and artiste. His name is Mugemanyi.
Thank you so much. That's me.
Hercules.
Me. In Kigali. Kigali by night, by the way.
Gorgeous. We're not in the same space right now. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But we are making do. Yvan and I collaborated a few months ago on a very special project that we both felt very passionate about, and we had one of those conversations where it's like, oh, I have this idea, and it's like, oh, I love that idea because I have this idea, and it really just married really well together. And the opportunity came for us to just like go to the perfect venue and come up with some images and a story that we are both proud of and that we both really love. And so we thought, while we're, sharing the pictures with all of our friends on the internet, that we would basically just talk about how it came about and then how we executed it. So Yvan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be on the Makeda channel. I feel like it's the first time, even though we've been working so many times together over the last
and we have filmed
100
video.
years.
I never really properly brought you in.
And we did some lives on your Instagram.
We did some lives, and we also did the Christmas look last year on my Instagram as well. You've been there, but you've never officially been introduced to my YouTube. So I'm so happy to have you here and for us to discuss these images. So essentially the concept of the project was a love letter to our hometown, Kigali, Rwanda. And it was a love letter from two Rwandan creatives who both grew up outside of the country and who have come back in to rediscover our heritage and culture and landscape and to do something special with it. We're both incredibly inspired by Rwanda. And so we were like, let's do something to show that love and to really put a punctuation on our feelings about Kigali. So a bit of background, I moved back to Kigali like a decade ago.
A decade ago. Oh my God. You're not a newbie anymore, Makeda.
I am old.
Old Makeda, local Makeda.
So I moved back quite a few years ago. I was already touched by the magic of Rwanda. And I say moved back, but the truth is I had literally never even been to Rwanda. I didn't know anything about Rwanda. I barely even knew my Rwandan father very well. So it was very, very fresh and new for me, but it still really captivated me and made me want to stay. But your story is a little bit more recent, where you had grown up in Belgium and you had been coming back to do your makeup with your Belgian makeup studio. You would come like twice a year, and then very recently you made the move.
I dove in like very recently. It's only been like 1 week now, a little bit over 1 week, and yeah, like it's been quite overwhelming. I'm so happy to be here, of course, but like unlike you, I didn't come here looking for myself. Like I remember when I came here 5 years ago, I had no expectation of ever moving back to Rwanda. It was never my dream, my goal. No, I just came for vacation and talked to a few people, and they were like, oh, you're a makeup artist. That's so cool. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And it was just the excitement of people telling me, but you need to come back. We need like, artists like you to come back here and develop something here. And I don't know, I just felt that energy touched me and really moved me. And over the years, as I was coming back, I just felt like that energy just kept on growing and growing and growing. And also, I really discovered the country and mostly also the people, the energy of the people to create something for the country and for just even the continent as a whole is something that I'd never seen before. Like especially living in Europe, which is the super old continent. You know, like you really don't have that energy of making things happen, not only for yourself but also for people that look like you, that are like you, and that share the same experience as you.
Anything you want to do, I'm always here for it, obviously. So I was like, well, I'm down to do it. And I have really been wanting to shoot my wedding mishanana because I never felt that I got beautiful photos from my traditional wedding. And as we mentioned, Yvan is a photographer. Maybe I haven't, but you know, Yvan is not only a makeup artist and a creative director, let's say, but you're also a budding photographer, and you've been kind of working a lot more on that. And so I was like, well, if that's the case and you want to do this shoot, I'm bringing my mishanana, and then we can just kind of go from there. So he had that idea, and I had the idea of not only shooting my mishanana, but I've been wanting to shoot a short movie about kind of like my journey with Rwanda, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and just something very abstract and but at the same time telling my story. So the idea was like, you know, coming out of the water, you know, representing my Caribbean upbringing basically, and then coming into Rwanda and kind of getting to know the culture, getting to know people, and, you know, really finding my space here, and then going back into the water. That was my idea that I had, going back into the water with my new sense of, you know, kind of marrying together my Caribbean and my Rwandan heritage. And so we did that instead of in a movie, in a series of photos. And so I think now is a great time for us to sort of just like look at some of the photos and then talk about how we got to those spaces and like what we all did for each one. Oh, by the way, it happened in Kivu at Rochelle Retreat. So thank you very much to Rochelle.
Beautiful place, by the way. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we wanted water, but we also wanted a beach and the sand feeling, you know. And you know, it's really hard to come by here in Rwanda, a beach with sand. So definitely Rochelle was the perfect place for that.
We did the road trip. We did some photos on the way. This one was not happy with them. They were not finished. I love them because it's a journey. So it was a bit unfinished. You can see the hills. Those are the only photos where you can see, like, you know, all the beautiful hills of Rwanda. You know, anyone who's been to Rwanda before, when you're going on a road trip, you're just gonna see hills on hills on hills on hills on hills. It's called the land of 1,000 hills for a reason, and it's one of the things that I'm always very captivated by. I can drive up country in Rwanda 1 billion times and I will still be like, oh, the views.
I will edit them, and it's not that. I mean, I do feel like they're still beautiful, but it's just like I like a concept and I like the full thing. And because we were driving up there, you know, it was very early in the morning. Miss Makeda here had no makeup on. Her hair wasn't really done. It was just like in a bun. And I just feel like I want the full experience, like the full experience. I think we could have worked on those pictures more.
Young Rwandan people are getting back in touch with culture in a way that's more tactical, where they're taking things, they're making it their own. You know, there's designers like Moses from Motions who is using those cultural symbols and those cultural things to kind of, you know, adorn his clothing. But there's also a lot of people who are wearing the Amasunzu hairstyle now, and who are really trying to reclaim that culture and make it into something that's relevant for today and that's mixed in with all of the things that we have come to know outside of that. So that set of photos, because it kind of shows that it's like the mishanana top with a pair of jeans, with the heels in the back. And it's very comfortable. And yes, there's not a lot of makeup happening, but I still think that they're interesting images. The first set of photos I think we said was going to be the long blue shirt thing, and then that would have symbolized like me coming out of the water, like from the Caribbean. There's like nothing really Rwandan there, even though that long blue shirt dress is from Ethiopia. Her brand is Afropian. So thank you, girl. Yvonne, speak to us about how you did that one.
You know, I love a glamorous look, like I said, but still, I still want the glamour to reflect the beauty of the person. And I feel like I didn't want to do like a whole bunch of makeup. You know, I did a simple blue liner to complement the blue of the long shirt coat thing. And just, you know, something very natural with your hair let down a bit. And we were lucky with the wind as well, because it was blowing in your hair and also creating waves in the water. Like, I'm so happy with those images.
What I think is good about you as a photographer, you direct really well. You'll be like, no, like, act like this, like, look that way, no, keep it, hold it, okay, no, like, move your head, like, slightly this way.
Hello, hey. Queen of Zamunda. yes.
And it's like, this guy really wants me to look my best, and I appreciate it.
Listen, I take selfies. I know, like, even for myself, I know I'm very particular on how I look good, and so I tend to look for that in other people as well. And, you know, we all have our angles, you know, and some angles work and some angles, you know, work a little bit less. So you need to find the best angle, and then like you want the wind to blow into the hair like a certain way, and you need to catch the light a certain way. So it really is a collaboration. And sometimes, of course, I see the picture, I'm behind the camera, and I have like, okay, this is what it looks like. You as a model, you don't know what you look like. So I need to direct you into creating, I mean, the final image, the final pose, the final, creation.
So that was that set. And then, so the idea from there was I was in the water. That was my Caribbean life. And then getting closer and closer to Rwanda is when I emerged from the water as like some kind of Rwandan queen mermaid thing.
Queen mermaid goddess.
With the halo and
everything.
It's like a washed ashore type of situation, but looking a little bit lost, not really sure, and then like kind of trying to start with a bit of dances and to kind of introduce that kind of thing. But if you know me, you know I am not the best Rwandan dancer, so it's there.
We tried.
The images are there.
We tried.
And we tried, but that was the concept for that part. It was like Rwandan-ish mermaid washed ashore, kind of trying to get into the thing. Tell us about how you felt about that set and how you shot it, because some of the shots are very beautiful and some of them are, and I know it was a little bit by mistake, but some of them are very like cinematic and complex and not exactly the perfect glossy photo that you have taken a shining to. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, it was on the first day when we arrived at the resort. We had a bite and then did the makeup, prepared, went into the water. So, you know, when you start a photo shoot, it's always a little bit of work to find your groove, you know, to get into the rhythm, to find the perfect lighting, to find the perfect composition, the perfect poses. So it took a little while. But then, like, you know, that's when magic happens. Like, I always love that moment when the lighting hits perfectly, and then like we started incorporating the Rwandan dance. Like you said, even though you're not the best dancer, I feel like that really took the photo shoot like to that level of this now becomes like, this is the concept, this is what we wanted. Of course, you're wearing a mishanana, but then because it's not just random moves and random poses, it's like those traditional poses. So that's really when it became like what I'm looking for, like glamorous and conceptualized. And then of course, with those moments that I hadn't really prepared was like, okay, you always want your models to be perfectly lit, and so you're always thinking, oh, you need to pose like facing the light. But then like when I put you like against the light, it gave like a new vibe, you know. It's not the perfect quality, it's not the perfect, you know, but like you said, like the emotion that it evokes is just like, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm self-taught photographer. I want to go for the emotion and not for, oh, this is the perfect shot that is perfectly lit and that is perfectly this. I want, of course, my model to look amazing, of course, but it's just like the end result is what I'm interested in and not like my camera work, you know.
What did you have in mind when we were shooting the blue and white, the blue top and the white skirt?
Again, I felt like when you were wearing the blue thing, I don't know, immediately it took me into this 60s vibes, you know, like this 60s holidays, but then like make it African or islandy vibes. And you posing, I think it was your idea actually to pose like in the window, on the window frame. I don't know, it felt like those 60s housewives, you know, like those pinup girls. But
The pool boy.
yes, exactly. But because you had your hair out, you know, like immediately it has that vibe with you with the glasses. But then because of your hair, because of the general location, it transports that immediately to something very much more modern and much more our own, you know. Something way more personal. But that was my inspiration at first when we first started to take the pictures. Like, oh my God, this gives me those vibes, you know, like Italian holidays, but you know, Raquel Welch, I don't know, all those old movie stars.
To me, this was like, you know, coming in, kind of still having my personality. You know, growing up, when I moved here, I was like early 20s. So, you know, still kind of like having a good time, still having my Caribbean flair, quite robust. You know, not knowing much about Africa at all. So like, you know, still having a good time and having fun and stuff, but in that way. And then, so a lot of these accessories, I mean, like I said, the sunglasses are yours, but this bracelet is from Giza Crafts, and the big ring is from, she's a Burundian designer. Her name is Margot. I'm just gonna put her Instagram thing. So that's her. So a lot of the accessories that I'm wearing are, I mean, all of them, they're all made in the region, other than like the sunglasses. Okay, so this was the next set. This was with the kente cloth hat, with the Icheza little, you know, top that we made, with your sunglasses, with the big lipstick, with the big hair. And I feel like this was just a great mixture of symbols and looks and fashion and stuff from different African cultures, but then also with like a Caribbean flair. Like this to me looks very much like it could be back in the days Sean Paul video or something like that. You know, the palm trees and everything. The shoes are also made in Rwanda. Those are from Uzuri, KNY. This huge ring, all of the, you know, the bracelet and everything, that's from Giza Craft. And we kind of just put this look together again. And you did that with the makeup.
Jeans, by the way. We wear the same size jeans.
Those were Yvonne's jeans. Those are your jeans.
Wow.
And I was like, I guess I can try. You know, I have giant hips and a booty. And you were like, I'm pretty sure they could probably fit you. You're like, I have a booty too. And I was like, your booty's not that big. And you're like, just try it on. Why did it fit perfectly? I was like, shook. Yeah. What did you have in mind for the makeup for these photos, and then also for like the composition?
Well, I wanted some of those, more of those, what I feel are Jamaican vibes, especially with the colors and with the palm trees. And for the makeup, I wanted something loud, something that was shouting, something that was very impactful, and something that complemented the green and the blues and, you know, an orange lipstick with no liner, you know. That was the thing. That's what we wanted. So there we go. Loud, obnoxious. And
Okay.
look at that, those street. That's I mean, those bamboos were just like so, amazing and so beautiful and so in your face.
Yeah.
Just in
Stunning.
the middle of the garden. So we had to do something with those.
I mean, I do have to say, Kinunu was a big part of the success of these photos because it's just such a good backdrop. They really did that with the atmosphere. So yes, that is that set of photos. And then before we get into discussing the next set, which is the one that you really wanted to do, but I guess I styled it because I did my robe and my headset. You really had the idea of like, it being kind of in the trees and like kind of blurry. You said that you had your inspiration from some blurry photos. So I'm gonna just open that one and then I want you to tell me about where your blurry vision came from, because that one I was like, just tell me what to do. Don't even show me these photos. I don't even know what the hell you're thinking. They came out really nice though. You're really good at editing, I gotta say. So tell us what you had in mind while I bring those photos up.
Well, the thing is, I didn't want something that was too extremely posed, Like, oh, I'm holding a pose. I wanted more of a movement. And that's why also incorporating some blur would give more of that motion thing. And of course, like controlling blur is something like it can look very bad or it can look very good. So we had to take a million ones. And in the end, actually, I don't think I even edited any of the blurry ones, any of the photos that I sent
You didn't?
you. No, I didn't. I mean, because there were so many. And in the end, like those ones were so beautiful that, let me use the sharp ones. But no, yeah, I wanted to have some like really natural movement. And especially because the coat thing the back is so beautiful. You want to see that and you want to see it move, So yeah, that was the inspiration. And also I wanted a lot of green because we had been by the water and I wanted a lot of green.
To me, these photos look very mystical. They have like a very mystical feeling to them, which I think is just
sort of
right. It's really fun, and especially with
it's fairy tale like I felt. It reminded me of like I was thinking of Sleeping Beauty. Like how do you say like the Merlin in French? It's Merlin l'Enchanteur, the wizards, the cartoon from Disney with the wizards. It was more, it had sort of a fairy tale vibe, like Sleeping Beauty, Merlin, and everything. So I really, me too. I love those pictures. Love.
No, they're so good. To me, it kind of like, I don't know why it gives me a traditional healer, someone very in touch with nature, someone like very in touch with culture and stuff, like with the headpiece. This one is epic because you got it so that like when it touched exactly in the middle of the face. I don't know how you done did that, but I do remember doing that turn a billion times. So this robe, the headpiece is from Haute Basso, obviously made in Rwanda, and the robe is from Moi For You. She also did my Mishanana, which is coming up next. And these little patterns on the robe, it's actually from like the look of Imigongo. So she was inspired by like, the shapes from Imigongo, and she really wanted to like incorporate that in this design. So shout out to Jermaine from Moi For You. Okay, so then the last set, your favorite.
My favorite.
Set. That's your favorite set. Yes. And this is a set that I was really excited to shoot because it was my wedding dress that we used, my traditional wedding dress that me and Jermaine from Moi For You made from scratch. Like I looked in every store to find that specific color of green because I really, really wanted that rich, dark green look. So let me bring those up. So I did my hair for this look and I did, it's obviously just the same Mishanana that I wore for my wedding. And then Yvonne did just like some very dramatic eyelashes. And then we did some different kind of, I guess you could call them setups for, backgrounds. And it was kind of very feminine, very beautiful. So What did you have in mind for these photos?
We should also say that these were the last shots that we took, and it was going to be very dark and really quick. Like the sun was setting very quickly. So I just wanted to take advantage of that, the sunset, golden hour and everything, to just have a glowing skin, I just put a ton of highlighter. What's that highlighter that by Rihanna, the Fenty, the yellow one?
What do they call that one again? Trophy wife. And
yeah, trophy wife. That's trophy wife all over your face and your body, and it just complemented the whole Mushanana perfectly. It was just great. And then as the sun set out behind the hill, it just gave again this soft low contrast look to the images, and I love them. Just go back, that one down. This one is my favorite. I want to frame it. I want it in my room. It's just I love it.
I think one of my favorites is this one, just because it has the hill in the back as well.
Oh yeah, gorgeous.
And the little house and everything. I like, for me, this one and this set to me signifies like a real, finally really coming to an understanding of my relationship with my Rwandan culture together with, my Caribbean heritage. And really standing in that and feeling comfortable in it now. And it's my wedding dress. So even becoming of the land, properly embracing that. That's what I felt like with this. With these ones, the banana tree ones, I really wanted to do some very, I guess a bit edgier photos. I wanted to dance and do some strong, maybe, not androgynous, but not quite as, for a lot of the rest of the photos, I was really embracing the feminine energy. And then for these, I wanted to kind of add a little bit more interest, because it was such a feminine outfit, it's the pinnacle of a wedding dress basically. And so I wanted to do some fighting ones and some dancing ones, and Yvonne did such a great job with capturing these. You said you really like these ones too, right?
Yeah,
this one,
those two last ones are just
Let me close this out. Let's get back. Oh, hi.
Hello again.
Let's just go ahead and wrap up this little chat of ours. And I just want to say before we wrap up, thank you so much for joining me just to talk about it and, kind of get into the inspiration of it and everything. After this, I know we've shown a lot of the video or a lot of the photos in this video, but after this, we're going to just start posting them on socials and stuff. And I really, really would love to know what your thoughts are them. Should we do another big project like this? I really want to do it with a short film the next time. I very much want to direct a short film with some stunning images like this. So if you think that's a great idea, please go ahead and give us your comments below, and follow us both on Instagram to see the photos, because we're going to be posting separate sets or separate photos from each set, and you can see all of the photos by looking at both of our accounts. Say it out loud for the people in the back.
My name is Mugemanyi, and that's also my name on Instagram and all of my socials. So yeah, please follow me. Yeah.
Please follow him. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. Definitely check out our love letter to Rwanda. A love letter from two returned Rwandan creatives who, just want to show you how inspired we are by our own hometown. Your hometown and my hometown now.
Yes! Thank you for having me. Mwah.
Everyone watching, thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and that you comment and you share this video if you found it to be a good time. Bye, everyone.